Is it crazy to leave the heartland of Ohio at our age and completely start over in the land of the midnight sun? Well, maybe just a little, but we're doing it anyway. Hi, we're Judy and Cindy, and this is Learning Alaska. We're so incredibly glad you found us. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's explore this new chapter together. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Learning Alaska. My name is Judy, and it is Saturday morning, and it's cloudy. Finally, it has been so sunny. Not that I'm complaining, but the sun has just been beating down on us, and I know that sounds weird for Alaska, but it's just been hot. So today is a nice cloudy, kind of looking out the window here. And it's just kind of gray skies and a little bit cooler, so it feels good. I have a bit of bad news this morning. I think I alluded to this in the last video that Cindy's mom had taken a turn for the worse, and Cindy flew up this past Wednesday. It is now Saturday, and her mom passed away this morning. So very sad to say. It's bothering me that I can't be there with Cindy and be there with her family right now, but I'm doing the best thing that I can do and taking care of all the things here at home. So Cindy's in good spirits. Her mom went to be with the Lord, and her mom knew Jesus Christ as her Lord and Savior, and so does Cindy. And Cindy's at peace with her mom's passing, knowing that she's with Jesus. And it's funny, Cindy asked me if I had any message I'd like to give to her mom. I used to tease her mom a lot and say that I was her favorite adopted kid and so forth. And I said, tell her that to tell Jesus I said hi. So that's kind of become a joke, I think, around the nursing home, that just to tell Jesus hi. So anyway, it's sad, but at the same time, we rejoice in knowing that she's in heaven with her Lord. She has seen him face to face. Let's go take a little walk around the property. I need to let the dogs out before I leave anyway, and I'll show you what we have outside. First of all, did I ever show you my new car? I think I took a picture of it, but I sold my car. I used to have a Chevy Volt, and then I drove a borrowed car for a while up in Ohio. But I bought this car a few weeks ago. It is a Toyota RAV4. And it's an all-wheel drive. I really, really like it. So it's going to be fun to drive. It's got a sunroof in it, and hopefully it'll be really good in the snow. People tell me that it is. Also, I installed this. Ready? So it's not a doorbell. And there's a story behind this bell. My Aunt Martha, who we used to visit her. She had the best cherry pie in the world, and she lived on a farm, and she had a big old iron bell, and I loved to ring that bell when I was a kid. So she would ring that bell, and she would call Johnny in from the fields, and Lucy, their dog, used to just run around in circles and go crazy every time she would ring it. So when I was a kid, I used to love to go out and ring that bell, and we had one of these bells at our old house, and it is to tell Cindy that dinner's ready, or that I need her to come in the house for whatever reason when she's out here working, and then vice versa. She can use the bell for me too. I'm trying to train the dogs with it, that once they go potty, I ring the bell. That means they come in and get a treat, because when it's 20, 30 below zero, we're going to need to get in the house pretty quick. So I planted some marigold seeds in here and some zinnia seeds. It's a little late in the season, but who knows if they'll come up. So check this out. I used to have a rose garden up in Ohio. I had about 40 rose bushes throughout my property. And I don't need to do that here. If I can get back in here through all this horsetail, this stuff is crazy. Look at this stuff. It is so thick. It's nuts. Anyway, we have these gorgeous rose bushes all over the property. And I just noticed, I'm going to move slowly, but right next to me, a woodpecker just came. There he is. The other thing I wanted to show you are all these little dogwoods all along the path. They're all over, really, but all along the path to the little cabin. I just love the raw land here that you really don't have to do anything to it. So one of yesterday's projects was to paint these old chairs. We had these beat up old green chairs. Painted them black to match the cabin. We just use these to sit around the fire pit area, which we can't use right now because they suspended all burn permits due to the wildfire risk, and so we can't have a fire, which is completely understandable. So it's very lush here. It's crazy how quickly things change in just a few weeks. This stuff looks like little fireworks. It's a little horsetail. Look at that. So this is willow, which also happens to be blooming. And the moose love to eat the willow. It's got little fuzzies, little seeds. It's like a whole willow patch here. And our beautifully stacked wood pile that kind of fell over. Don't look too closely because back here, look what happened. Oops, but I'm not restacking it. All these flowers. All these roses. They're just everywhere, all the way around the property. And then once these are finished blooming, we're going to get fireweed, which is my favorite. So of course I had to stop at Lead Dog Coffee for some coffee. I got to show you this sign. It's really fun. It says, water for your dog or people with low standards. We don't judge. That's funny. I got my usual vanilla latte with half syrup. Delicious. Super nice people here. I like Lead Dog Coffee. And they have some great muffins and danishes and whatnot. But this morning I got a pumpkin bagel with cream cheese. This looks delicious. Look at that. Yummy! Very pumpkin-y. We are at the Willow Post Office, going to pick up our mail. Well, scratch that. They're closed for lunch. I wasn't paying attention to the time. I'm batting 1,000 today. So I just had to share this. I stopped at the convenience store thinking that I would buy some heavy cream for my coffee, because I like heavy cream and for my coffee in the morning. It's one of my indulgences that I do not want to give up. $14.59. We're sticking with Coffee Mate. Well, good morning. It is Monday morning, My name is Judy, and welcome back to Learning Alaska. Exciting things are happening today, and I'm headed into town. And that means I have a long list of things to do, places to stop, things to buy. Cindy will be home on Thursday. It's Monday right now, and yesterday was summer solstice. I didn't get to say happy summer solstice. And now the days start getting a little bit shorter, which means they get a little bit darker, which means Judy will be able to sleep. But let me show you this. I got these wonderful blinds from Amazon, and I love them. They're not total blackout, but when you put the curtains, they're dark enough that I'm able to actually get some rest. So where am I going today? Back to the post office. I've got a bunch of Amazon boxes there. I'm going to the library since I forgot the library books the other day. I'm going to Wasilla, have to go to the store and buy a bunch of things, maybe get some stain, another sample for stain for the deck. Haven't decided exactly what we want to use yet. I need to get coffee creamer. That's number one on the list. So I went to a little local gas station to look for heavy cream. It was $14.59. Now, mind you, it was a half gallon, but still, it was ridiculous. So I'm going to Walmart. And then at Walmart, there will be a bunch of other things that I need to buy. So I'm probably not going to do a lot of filming today, but I just wanted to pop on here and say hello and checking in with my YouTube friends. You guys have been so active in the comments, and I love it. I love interacting with people. I did lose a viewer because I mentioned Charlie Kirk's name. There's a million YouTube channels out there that you can go and watch, and if mentioning someone's name is offensive, then whatever. And I don't even really remember that. It's in one of my videos, and it was probably after he was assassinated. So I was definitely a Charlie Kirk fan. So if that offends you, because I like Charlie Kirk, so be it. I'm not going to hide who I am, and I'm not going to hide what I believe. So I believe very strongly about that. Anyway, you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you when I turn the camera back on. So I thought I would take the opportunity to show you guys how things have progressed at the cabin and give you just a quick little tour. This is looking out from the coffee bar into the living room. And then looking back from the front of the living room into the kitchen. And we really don't have a kitchen table, so we have 4 chairs at our island that will be our table. And this is my bedroom, the boho bedroom. And this is Cindy's bedroom and office and Bible study desk. And then of course the bathroom. We kind of have a little black spruce theme going in the bathroom. And then this is the loft. It's not quite finished yet, but we did manage to get the bookshelves in over in the little cubby. And this is my favorite coffee spot. Hello everyone, I am hanging out here on the deck. The sun is blazing again today, and my hair looks super white. So I colored it. It's kind of purple. I can't really tell because I have sunglasses on, but it's a beautiful day. I'll turn this around. Just look at that sky. It just amazes me how blue it is sometimes. Of course, the flag looks just beautiful against. But anyway, Cindy is on her way home. She's due to land in about 15 minutes. And then she's going to stop at the grocery store and pick up a couple things. And I feel like this is like I got I got bees and mosquitoes and flies, and the bugs loved me. Anyway, I just had a little chickadee just fly up here and land right next to me, and he was chattering at me and he, guess he wanted a snack or something. I don't know. Anyway, they're so cute. So I'm excited for Cindy to be home. She is excited to be home. This has been a long week for her. She went to Ohio, then she went to Pennsylvania, then she went back to Ohio, then she had to go to another city in Ohio on the other side of Ohio for her mom's funeral and burial, and then back to Columbus, and then here. Well, then to Seattle, and then here. So it's just been some serious travel. And I'll let her share some of her uh, insights and so forth of the last week with you. I'm sure you're tired of hearing me yammer on, but tomorrow we have planned something fun. So stick around because we have a bit of an adventure. That's what we came to Alaska for, right? Adventure. So even though we're a couple old ladies, we still like adventure. So yesterday when I was in Talkeetna, so it's funny, a couple things. One, I went to the Texas Walker Ranger Station, which I love. If you guys ever get a chance to go to that, it is so cool. You can go read about all the people who have climbed Denali. There are people there who are climbing Denali. It's just so neat. And so I'm sitting there in a restaurant waiting for my pizza, and this YouTuber walks by, this guy that I follow, and I guess I can mention his channel, and his name is Sean Paul, and he's got a channel, Getting Off Grid. Well, he hasn't posted in a really long time, and everybody's worried about him. Well, he walked by with his dog, and I couldn't say anything to him because I was in the restaurant waiting on my food, and it would have been weird and kind of stalkerish to go running out there. But I've met Home Free Alaska, I've met Flat Tire Farms, and I've met the people from Living Free Alaska. So that's 4 YouTubers, fellow Alaska YouTubers. This is such a big state, but really it's small. And because there's only so many places that we can go because there's like only 3 main roads. But anyway, it's just kind of funny. So, and just to recognize them. So again, I'm rambling. So I will just sit here and enjoy my birds, enjoy my sunshine, and enjoy my mosquitoes. So we'll chat a little bit more when Cindy gets home. Who's home? Now you finally realized it. Get her. Let's go get her. Go get her. He's looking on the other side for you.
What are all these moths?
I don't know.
Hi.
Welcome home.
Thanks.
I need to hug. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Learning Alaska. Look who's home.
Hi.
It's been a long couple of weeks, and I held down the fort while you were gone.
You did. Thank you.
Did a couple projects here and there, fixed up your room a little bit.
You did. It looked great. Thank you.
Painted some doors, painted some chairs, took care of the dogs, watched the birds, did a lot of relaxing. I didn't eat very well while you were gone.
I didn't eat very well while I was gone either.
I had some junk food, went into Talkeetna, had some lunch a couple days out, ate out. And we said we were going to try to eat more at home, but I didn't do very well with that. So we'll get back on track.
We will get back on track. I did not do well eating either, although sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So nothing wrong with Skittles and, they had honey roasted M&Ms.
Ooh.
Yeah, they tasted like regular peanut M&Ms.
Oh, well, it sounds good anyway. You had a rough couple of weeks, went up to Ohio, then to Pennsylvania.
Down to Ohio.
Or, I'm sorry, went down to Ohio. I always say that. Then over to Pennsylvania, then back to Ohio, then to Seattle, then back to Alaska.
Yeah.
Got a bug on you.
I wasn't doing no nothing.
I think it was a spider.
So yeah, so for those of you who don't know, my mom had Alzheimer's, and last week, beginning of last week, got a call from the hospice nurse. Let me back up. My mom has Alzheimer's. She progressed to the point where she qualified for hospice, which honestly is a wonderful thing. She had extra hands of care and support and supplies and all of that. She'd had Alzheimer's for a little over 10 years.
Wow.
So yeah, she was diagnosed early. Got a call last Tuesday. She wasn't doing well at all. She was declining very quickly. My sister went and saw her Wednesday. She was gracious enough to do a Teams call with me Wednesday, and it was clear that I just needed to get home or get back to Ohio. So gratefully, thank you, Alaska Airlines. They had a flight at 4:30 that afternoon. I got there Thursday morning. Went to the facility where my mom was at. She was in a memory care unit, and the hospice place also had a facility. It had 12 beds. They would care for her there, but they didn't have any rooms. And it was a little bit of a bummer. And my concern was the facility where she was at doesn't always have a night nurse. And so that's important, as you know, in case she needed medicine at night, she couldn't get it. So long story short, by noon that day, they said they had a room and they were transporting her. My sister had made it over from Pennsylvania. So we went to lunch. They transported mom to the new facility, and it was pretty darn phenomenal.
They took good care of her, sounds like.
They took very good care of her. She had 2 aides, a nurse. They took care of us. They literally had soup in the kitchen for us. Well, not just for us, but for anyone there. They had cookies, and they had my favorite,
what kind of cookie?
Coffee. They had chocolate chip cookies, and then they had what I think was like a double chocolate, like chocolate cookie dough with chocolate chips. I didn't eat any of those.
Which your mom would have liked because she loved chocolate.
She definitely loved chocolate. So Thursday was a day of moving mom from the facility to the hospice care facility, and she got settled. We spent a lot of time with her. She wasn't responsive, but we were telling stories, cracking up, telling old war stories of when we were kids and sharing pictures. So it was a sweet time with my sister, and then the nurses there as well as the additional staff. We went back to the hotel Thursday night, got a really good night's rest because the night before I didn't sleep at all. The red eye I just read. And then went in Friday, and mom had declined. Honestly, it didn't seem like she was there. It was just kind of mechanical breathing. And then that night, we both agreed we would stay with mom. And then Saturday morning at 8:08, she went to be with the Lord very peacefully. We had those details to navigate. Thankfully, both my mom and dad had prepaid and prearranged funerals, which was a huge blessing.
My parents did that too, and that was huge for the family.
Yeah. So what would have been going from central Ohio to the west side of the state, then going back to Pennsylvania, turned into just staying in central Ohio, taking care of some details there, and then going to Pennsylvania, which is where my sister lives, for several days. And then we went from there over to a little bit more western Ohio, spent the night there. Her services, Celebration of Life, was Wednesday. And then Thursday morning, flew from Columbus to Seattle to Anchorage.
So, question for you. I know we were talking about this a little bit ago. Just, dealing with Alzheimer's. A couple people have commented on here that they've dealt with it or are dealing with it. And you did really, really well. You have a little bit of experience in that arena with your grandma. Yeah. And I think, did your grandfather have it too?
Grandpa had dementia.
And then volunteering for hospice and working with patients with dementia. What advice would you give someone who has a parent that are dealing with this right now?
It's a good question, and it's hard to give an answer because everyone is different in their dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever they're facing. I think a couple of things. The first thing that comes to my mind is to parse the disease in the person, right? The person is still the person, but the disease just so negatively impacts them, right? So it's still, even though they can't use the right words or they can't recall things, there's still your loved one, whether it's mom or dad or brother or sister, whatever that relationship is. So I think that's the first thing that I had to sometimes remind myself of. The second is, I would say, meet them where they're at that day, that moment. Sometimes it changes every hour.
Yep.
Keep trying. I know that's really easy to say, but mom was diagnosed, like I said, she probably early mid 60s. So she was young. She went to be with the Lord when she was 76. And I learned how to do it right by trying some things that I did that were really wrong, and that were hard. Here's kind of the grace in that. With Alzheimer's, mom didn't remember the things that I messed up. So it was kind of like, you got a mulligan, you got a do-over without any penalty. So there's a little blessing in that. But for me, it was the big thing that unlocked everything with mom was the one day I went in and said, hey, mom, I'm going to give you a pedicure and cut your hair. So we're going to take a bath. And as some of you may or may not know, people with Alzheimer's or dementia challenges, they develop this fear of water, or mom did this really well. She covered really well. You knew that she hadn't taken a bath, but she covered. So anyways, I told her, I said, hey, mom, I'm going to cut your hair. I'll give you a pedicure. And she said, well, I took a bath last night. I said, I know, but if you could take another one, we can soak your feet and wash your hair at the same time. And what unlocked everything was, she said, will that help you? And I said, yes. And she said, okay, completely compliant. Now, mind you, for a period of time before that, had been trying and trying and trying, and it didn't work. So
Because you try reason, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah. So mom loved to help, loved to serve. So if she could help, then from then on out, I was just having her be part of the process. And I would say that maybe as another lesson learned. Just because they can't do everything for themselves doesn't mean they can't do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
You try to let them do as much as they are able.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're going to spill stuff and color outside the lines, literally, and that's okay. They're good. But they know how they may not remember you, but they definitely, and I learned this through serving in hospice, they don't remember your name, but they remember how you make them feel.
Yeah.
Right. And I am grateful because the roles kind of reverse. Sometimes she knew who I was. Sometimes she thought I was a sister. Sometimes she thought I was a friend. But
she always knew who I was.
You are not kidding. I would go see mom, like, hey, mom, how are you? She's like, what's Judy doing? I'm like, hey, mom, I'm right here. She's like, so what's Judy doing? So the other thing is have fun, right? You can get annoyed. And I know I did at times of same question again and again and again.
What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing this evening? What are you guys doing this evening?
So this one would start messing with her. She's like, oh, we're going to go bar hopping. We're going to go do this. And mom would go, no, you're not. But mom loved to pick on people, and she understood that feeling of being picked on, and she liked to banter back and forth.
She did. She was feisty. She was ornery.
She was. She would belt out a song. Oh my goodness. Amazing Grace.
She would.
How great thou art in the garden. She added, he's got the whole world in his hands to her repertoire this year. So
she had a funny saying too, and I don't know if I should share this, but up and over. So I think the nurses or the aides or whatever would help her get undressed and say up and over with her shirt. Well, she would do that sometimes.
She'd say up and over, and you're like, no, not right now. No up and over.
She was so sweet. I loved her. She made me laugh.
Yeah. Mom could make, and even in her Alzheimer's, there's two things she could continue to do. She could make any bad day good. She had this huge, grateful heart that she would see the trees and they're beautiful. She'd see the clouds and she'd say, look at those. They're so beautiful. Do you remember as kids, you guys would look up and try to figure out what the animals are? And the other thing that I'm so grateful, and I know this isn't true for everyone, but it was true for mom, and I pray it's true for your loved one. She remembered that God was still good.
Yes, she did.
She never questioned anything about him. She loved him, and her faith was evident all the way through the end. I had a friend that said, who her dad had Alzheimer's, and she's like, make as many videos as you can and ask for advice. And so I would ask mom for advice, and she'd think about it, and I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'd ask her, and every single time she'd say the same thing. Remember what that was?
Go with God.
That's right. She would say, go with God.
Just go with God.
And so in her last moments, I got the whisper in her ear, you just keep following him and you go with God. And she did. Good morning. Today is Saturday, and yesterday we had a much needed distraction. So we got away for a little bit on a much needed trip that went about 65 miles up the river to where the water flows at 30,000 cubic feet per second. That's right. We went to Devil's Canyon, and we're taking you along with us. Enjoy the ride. Where are we at?
I don't know how to say it.
Mahays. And which tour are we doing?
The jet boat adventure.
What do you think about that? You
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm
not
ready
a little
to do
bit
it.
afraid?
Let's do it.
Class 5 rapids?
Class 5 rapids. Well, we're not actually going into Class 5 rapids.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to the Class 5 rapids.
No, you go in them.
What? What?
All right, we are coming to you live from Curry, Alaska.
How many people can say that? So what do you think of the Mahays jet boat ride so far?
It's okay so far. The most interesting.
We saw Denali like we've never seen Denali before.
We saw Denali beautifully multiple times. We also saw a raven eating on a
so we're going to
carcass.
continue on here. Alana's going to share.
Things are getting a little rough out here as we head closer to Devil's Canyon. The river is definitely showing its teeth, but we're having a blast. The energy out here is incredible. But don't worry, we get to dry off in a few minutes because we're pulling over to take a walk through the Alaskan wilderness.
Ready? Hands up.
Whoa! Don't jump in the drain. Yay! Turn around the other way.
Well done.
Rough one. That wasn't so rough. Yeah.
Yikes.
Bam! 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 Oh. Ouch. That was
About the size of a basketball. You squared it off. Imagine 30,000 plus basketballs going past us. And we're the only salmon species that are strong enough to make it up through the rapids of Devil's Canyon. And only a handful of them do, maybe 300 to 500.
Jurassic Park in here. Crazy.
Well, those are probably 6-7 feet tall.
They're huge. You feel the legs?
Yeah, very soft.
Everything. Completely oblivious.
And look what walked out of the bush.